It was raining heavily, the kind of rain that soaked your shoes and your hope. In the corner of a nearly vacant train station, a young woman with tired eyes clutched her crying baby close to her chest. Her name was Emily Carter, and today was supposed to be a fresh start, or at least, it was meant to be. But the bags beside her, the few she managed to carry after being evicted, were all that remained of a life that had crumbled around her. The baby, Noah, whimpered softly, shifting against her worn coat. She rocked him gently, humming a lullaby under her breath, as she scanned the platform for the train she couldn't afford. Her cheeks were pale with cold, her eyes puffy from crying, but her hands were steady. She had to be strong. For Noah. People passed by, some noticed, most didn't. She was just another struggling single mother in a city too fast to care. She wasn't begging. She wasn't loud. She wasn't in the way. She was invisible. Until a tall man in an immaculate navy coat stopped several feet away, his brows slightly furrowed. His driver had parked the sleek black car just outside the platform entrance, engine humming quietly in the background. The man's name was Ethan Ward, CEO of Ward Enterprises, one of the most powerful men in the country. People listened when he spoke. Boardrooms waited for his decisions. Entire companies lived or died on his word. But now he stood still, watching a woman who had no idea who he was. She didn't notice him as she reached down to grab the straps of her heavy bags. With one hand holding her child and the other trembling from the weight, she tried to lift them and stumbled. Ethan stepped forward quickly. "Don't touch that." Emily froze. Her heart raced. The voice was firm, commanding, not angry, but enough to make her stiffen. She turned slowly, eyes meeting his for the first time. She didn't recognize him, just saw a stranger in an expensive coat with concern etched across his face. I'm sorry," she stammered. "I was just trying to move them out of the way." Ethan didn't respond immediately. Instead, he took one of the bags in each hand, easily lifting them. "Where are you going?" "I don't know," she whispered, the words breaking out before she could stop them. "I was hoping the shelter down on 7th might have a spot left. If not, there's a church or a bench." "You have a child with you," he said gently. "That's no place for either of you." She blinked, unsure if she was supposed to reply. His tone didn't sound pitying, just matter of fact. "Come with me," he said. She took a small step back, clutching Noah tighter. "Why?" "Because you need help," he said calmly. "And I can help. You don't even know me." He smiled faintly. "You're right. But I know enough. You're holding your child like he's all you have. You didn't ask for help. That tells me you're proud. But your hands, they're shaking. That tells me you're exhausted. I don't need to know more." She hesitated. The rational voice in her mind screamed to be cautious. But the way he spoke, like she mattered, silenced that voice just long enough for her to nod. The ride in his car was quiet. He didn't ask invasive questions. He simply turned the heat up, offered her bottled water, and kept glancing back to make sure the baby was warm enough. She felt like she was in a dream. One wrong step, and it would disappear. He didn't take her to a shelter or a motel. Instead, they arrived at a tall, modern building downtown. His penthouse apartment spanned the top floor. "This is your home?" she asked, eyes wide. "For now," he said. "And yours, if you want it to be." She stood at the door, hesitant to enter. "Why are you doing this?" He met her eyes. "Because I can. And because someone once helped me when I needed it most." In the weeks that followed, her life transformed. He hired a live-in nanny to help with Noah, gave Emily her own room, filled the fridge with food, and gave her new clothes, never asking for anything in return. But it wasn't just the material help. He sat with her during her panic attacks. He listened when she cried about the betrayal from Noah's father, the eviction, the job she lost. And slowly, Emily began to believe she mattered again. She started working part-time in his company's charity wing, learning about grants, food drives, and women's shelters. Her ideas were sharp. Her empathy was unmatched. Ethan noticed. He offered her a full-time role, and she blossomed. Noah grew, giggling under the same roof where once silence ruled. One evening, a gala was hosted by Ward Enterprises. Emily was there, now in a graceful blue dress, holding Noah's hand as they entered the grand hall. Reporters whispered, "Who was the beautiful woman beside the famously private cell?" But Ethan didn't let go of her hand. In front of hundreds, he gave a speech. "A few months ago," he began, "I saw a woman reach for her bags. She thought she was in the way. She had nothing. But she had strength, love, and dignity. That woman reminded me why I started this company, not for profits, but for people. She is the reason I stand here tonight. She gave me something I didn't know I was missing. A family. Tears welled in Emily's eyes as he turned to her, holding out his hand. Emily, thank you for not letting go of your bags that day, and for trusting me when I told you not to touch them. And in that moment, surrounded by applause, cameras, and flashing lights, Emily realized that kindness didn't need a reason. Sometimes, it just needed one person to stop and care.